All right, guys. There's a lot of you tuned in. Right, we're actually doing the radio, filming the radio early this week. So getting this rolling and getting you guys updated. So the idea for today's radio actually is something that I think is important to talk about because, especially for a lot of you that are subscribed to my channel, because I think it's really cool. And of course, it's about the news about the CMP and those 1911s and all that, and what it's going to do to the market, and what it could possibly do to all of us that are wanting to get one. Been looking into getting one of those. I've been looking to pick one up, and I'm curious about the CMP and all that. So, yep. All right, just getting everything started. Getting my. I was going to get a drink here, a little cup of water or something, but maybe not. Okay, let's just get this thing rolling here. I've been chatting enough with you guys, right? No, I know. You guys enjoy the chats. Okay, so here we go. Let's get this camera rolling. We got it in a position of where those of you that are involved in watching the after show, then you will know about this new camera angle that we're doing here. So, okay, let's get this rolling. Here we go. Let's see. Okay, we are on Batjack JW here. It is Saturday morning. Well, for you it's Saturday morning. Well, maybe, I don't know. Sometimes you're not tuned in on a Saturday morning. It could be Saturday, Sunday, a day late, a dollar short, as I think some of you, some comments have rolled in there. But yes, thank you for tuning in from last time around, 131 episode. We are on 132. So this week's thing, I think, is going to be fun. It's going to be fun for me to talk about it, and I hope it's fun for you to chime in and listen and all that kind of stuff, because it's about some really cool things, like some of vintage things that go into a holster like this. I know. And those of you that are listening on the audio, I know you're going, what is he holding up? What is that? Well, yes, you just heard in the beginning, right? We're talking about those CMP 1911s. Oh, look at that. 60 seconds in, and we've already said it, what we're doing. Okay, that's pretty good. And those of you that are subscribed to Batjack JW Radio Show channel, you're hearing the audio of this. I usually always have the recorder on the audio going too, and that's always got some extended stuff on it and everything like that. So a little bit of bonus material here and everything. So plus I got something laying right here on the table. It's quite not in camera view. You'll have to find out what it is. And it's kind of classic. It's iconic. It's one of my favorite revolvers, for say, and it's just kind of right here. I don't know, yeah, maybe the camera's kind of catching it. I know, it's a teaser, right? Stick around. All right, so Saturday morning, let's get started with some comments here, as we always do. Some comments and shout out. Look at that, first one right at the top of the list. It's from Mr. Holster. Mr. Holster says, "Morning, JW. How the hell are you?" I'm doing good, Mr. Holster, and I hope all is good with you, and keep drinking that good stuff that Jack, I guess, makes up for you. I don't know what Jack is putting in those things, but Jack has been trying to call me and get a hold of me and run some poker games. I lost a couple of guns to Jack, and yeah, you know what? I don't even know what Jack has done with those. Mr. Holster says he saw a PPK from Inner Arms, Walther PPK, that's James Bond cool stuff, in a gun shop the other day. And it was a very nice and clean gun for $600 with 2 original magazines. He said if he had the money and a use for a 380, he would have gotten it. Look, I have no use for a 380, but I had to get one too because of James Bond. I'm just such a fan of James Bond, I couldn't live without it. I had to have one. You should have got it, Mr. Holster, and then we could have. But there's actually been discussions of Mr. Holster and everybody would get together and actually do a live stream. There's been some talks about that. I actually think that's a really good idea, but hopefully I can figure out how to do it because, like I said, I'm kind of analog, so A lot of this, what we're doing here, is really high tech for me, old JW. All right, so but I would love to participate in it. I think it would be a lot of fun to get together with those guys. And Mr. Holster, I can't speak enough about him. He's such a great guy, and I think a lot of times our channels are so much alike with a lot of things that we talk about and enjoy, such as movies and Burt Reynolds and Clint Eastwood and all actors that are time past. Where back when I guess actors were actually actors, and now I guess so much they're more like faces and bodies or so. That's weird. Sorry if the lighting just suddenly got dark here. We're entering a time in the great state of Arizona where things are, I guess, I don't know. Winter's starting to kick up. So you know what? Let me put this on pause real quick. Okay, I'm putting that on pause because suddenly the lighting just like went dull. And I'm going to see if we can open up some more lighting here. Let's try that light. Yeah, I don't know. That's really strange. The lighting just kind of took a dive on us, so we'll see how that shakes out. Okay. All right, so I'm back with you. I wanted to kind of enhance the lighting just a little bit. I don't know how much I did. Get to enhance it a little bit, but yeah, Arizona, we're entering winter, so it's going to start getting a little bit less. Today, actually, the weather was fantastic. It's finally feeling like, for me, I like cold. I don't know, so and I know Mr. Holster's going, you like cold? Come over here. Okay, 3 Wolves 4570. He's got a cup of Kona coffee and a chocolate donut. Where's my chocolate donut? Actually, one of the guys at work today brought Krispy Kremes, so I can't say I've been deprived of bad food. Jerry Johnson II, he says, learn how to reload with my dad. He teached me, or I'm sure he teached him about everything about firearms and reloading. I miss those times. Yes, my first real thing with shooting and stuff like that came from my dad taking me to an indoor gun range. Boy, do I miss those times. Also, going into the middle of nowhere and shooting a .410 shotgun, that was always fun. And so he says, you must be very knowledgeable about reloading if you've made that many rounds for a job. I really like the trigger and ergonomics of the new Glock Model 45. That's a 9mm. He was very impressed with that model, and you should rent one and try it out. Batjack. Keep up the awesome content, bro. I will. Thank you for the positive comments and everything like that. I will try to keep it up. But I'm not saying there's somebody to say like, oh, I know everything. I have the most knowledge in the world. You can't top my knowledge. It's dangerous. I know enough to hold my own, and I appreciate the compliment. But I've been, messing around with reloading for quite some time. I mean, I took a real fascination to it and all that, and I really enjoy it because I like making my own stuff. In fact, some of the things I do, like here's a box of shells right here that I did. I actually paint my brass blue. That's why it looks like that, so I can find it, and I know that that's actually mine. So when it comes to semi-autos, plus it makes it real easy for me to find it out there. And it kind of identifies it, personalizes my stuff. It makes it my brass. So that's kind of neat. I don't know. I'm just quirky like that and weird. My brother Santee over there at the Ghost Riders, he says, way to go, brother. And thanks for the shout out. Of course. Well, it's I remember when old Santee came to me and says, hey, should I make a YouTube channel? I said, absolutely, you should. And his channel has been blowing up phenomenal. I mean, just the amount of content and traffic to his channel is just amazing. It's great to see other channels just absolutely blossom into this phenomenal, just the amount of traffic to these places that I remember, it just, here we are, and a lot of us, myself and a lot of other guys I'm subscribed to, we're just these smaller channels that are still trucking along here, and it's really cool. All right. Mr. Holster says, it's disturbing that you should know how to use one of those things, JW. And I said to him, may I borrow a little bit of your Scotch tape? See, you know what? And now nobody's going to really know that reference. You see, Mr. Holster, nobody's going to really know what you're talking about. If you've seen Dirty Harry, then you might know. All right, Darren Bag, Six Gun. Hey, look at that. The Duke is up here, and he's in even more in the picture in glory and all that. He says, great video, Bat Jack. You got a lot of awesome stuff there. So you got to see The Quiet Man on the big screen. I sure did. It was awesome. Awesome. No guns, but good bare knuckle fighting. Going on, great movie with the Duke. One of my top 5 movies of his. Keep up the great work and never change. Thank you. That's important right there, right? I never really did change the format of the channel or anything like that. I mean, it evolves. It will do some sort of evolving as we all do, but I really want to keep it all the same. I don't want to change it too much. So, and EB Saint says, man, it'd be awesome to see Bullet on the big screen. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna see it. If it does go, I'm gonna go see it. I'm definitely gonna go see Bullet. All right, Mr. Markmack 85 says, would enjoy seeing you in a live stream with Mr. Holster. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate the support. We'll have to crank out a live stream again here on the channel and just see how that shakes out. The Real Cobra Burnout. That's the Real Cobra Burnout, not the fake one. By the way, check out Real Cobra Burnout. He's actually done a VR video, kind of the old school ways. Look, here again, the lighting is messing with us. It's out there. It's when the cloud cover happens, so I apologize. He did a nice little cool VR video type thing about what we think would be guns that we can get now that may be collectibles in the future. That's very true. Could be. You never know. So that's a really cool idea. And he got the idea of I was showing that P7 off of my latest throwback days video. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. It's on the channel where we take a look at some vintage old magazines, and sometimes I'll have to throw a curveball at you and do a gun or something. All right, Bernard Flood, greetings from Ireland. I'm a bit like yourself, carefree and happy-go-lucky. That's right. You got to live. You got to laugh. Life is too short. Why are you so serious all the time? All right. I've got Bob Hartman. He says, good morning, Bat Jack. Just got back from the range. He's cleaning his guns and made it in time before noon to watch the show. All right, he's back in. Maybe he's cleaning his guns again today. Disposable 762. He says, sorry I missed it on Saturday, but he's here now. That's okay. Better late than never, right, Disposable? All right, Scott F. Nice show as always. Good stuff. Lion Quest Fitness. He says you got a good philosophy on life, Bat Jack. Also, you can find my name as Nobody on YouTube. It's one of the funniest westerns I've ever seen. I'll have to check that out. Everybody keeps telling me about that. I'm going to have to check it out. Okay. Joe P. Good morning, JW. I think I read somewhere that the Molly-coated bullets were designed to leave a slight film in the rifle of the barrels and to increase the feet per second. That could be very true, because I thought I heard something about that too. I don't know. I'm learning as we go. Molly-coated stuff, interesting. Edward Petty says, morning, Bat Jack. Nice condition, or nice collection you have. I like those. I like that two-tone 1911 magazines. This has got a few of them. Wow, lucky dog. That's the first one I've run across that I had picked up. And 454 Packer, he says, you primed my Saturday, Bat Jack. On with his day. Well, I appreciate that. I do appreciate all the kind comments we get. Oh, my buddy T. He says, great show, Bat Jack. Now, please put up that Glock video. He's starting to drool on his laptop. That's my buddy T over there in Tennessee. I miss those times hanging out with you, T. I really do. Those are good times. All right. Peppered88. He says, thank you, JW. And I hope you're doing well. Peppered88. I know you've been a little sick, so I hope you're doing well, my friend. I don't like any of you guys sick, so please don't get sick or get in the hospital. I know sometimes I've had messages in the past or before guys who say, hey, I was watching your videos from a hospital bed. I really hope that, all of you are in good health and everything, and, I'm glad to be here for your entertainment and everything, but I rather you be upright and healthy and not laying in a hospital bed. But, if you are, please get better. All the luck with you and Godspeed. All right, Jeffrey Richardson, he says, learn new things every day. not just hanging in, watching the whole video. All right. And then Mr. Rory James, he says, how often do you clean your guns? Until recently, I've cleaned them after every use, and starting to wonder if I'm doing more harm than good. Depends what it is. Like, you know, sometimes like some of these Glocks or something like that, I mean, I won't clean them every time. I just kind of run them and run them and run them. If it's a revolver, one of my nice classic revolvers, and I go shoot it, clean it, or sometimes if it doesn't need to be cleaned at all, I'll just clean it just because I'm kind of I baby them, I know. All right. So on with some stuff here. I know we're 13 minutes into the video, and we're like, hey, come on, what the heck are we talking about here? Okay, so what we're talking about this time around is the CMP. The CMP is releasing 1911s. And they are the old vintage 1911s, the war horses from the past times of the war, World War I, World War II. So who knows what they have. A lot of it is vintage. I'm sure a lot of it is Arsenal reworked or been rebuilt, refurbished, and everything like that, and packed away. So I'm really curious. I'm one of those guys that I'm really curious to see what comes out of it. And what we're going to see as far as the market on them. And here's my thoughts as we know, and as I know, as everybody that has looked them up or tried to go through and find them, gun shows especially, or that old guy or that old shop that's selling them, and they want some pretty hefty dollars for that thing. You know, I've seen stuff like, I've seen prices on gun broker auctions, $4,000 for one. You know, fine, so be it. Maybe I mean, I know there's somebody out there that's willing to pay $4G for the thing, but I can't. There's no way. No way. Right now, no way. I mean, post lottery, hey, why not? You know, sure. But right now, no way. I can't pay that. I can't afford that. I think that's way overpriced. There's a lot of things that I think are overpriced. Colt Pythons, I think they're way overpriced. I don't think they're worth it. I don't think they're worth that kind of money. It's just the nostalgia of having it, I guess. They're cool guns, don't get me wrong. I like them. I'm not trashing them. But do I think it's worth $3,000? No, I don't. Again, post-lottery, why not? I'll buy you all one. But, you know, so I'm really curious to see what the CMP is going to do. That's going to be really interesting to see what that's going to turn into, because the CMP is going to start getting a whole bunch of them. Now, right now, I don't know all the details on it, so go look it up, go check it out on CMP's website, and they list the process. Right now, it's like a lottery system where they're doing it, where you get in there and you if you win those numbers, they'll call you and say, here's an opportunity to purchase one. Do you want to buy one? And I've been hearing like prices that are at least $1,000 or so in that ballpark. At least it's not $3,000 or $4,000 or something like that. So that's the way I look at it. But here's the thing. Here's the important thing about it. Give it some time. Let it soak in. Let it saturate the market, because what's going to happen is this thing is going to flood it out. There's going to be so many of these things out there. Once it starts, the ball is going to start rolling. Just wait for that little snowball, that little hailstone to turn into this giant rolling boulder that's coming down the hill. And it's going to spatter out into a bunch of pieces everywhere. And we're all going to get an opportunity to pick up one of these things for a very decent price. I guarantee you it. That's what's going to happen. It's going to drive those prices right down to the rock bottom, and we're going to be able to pick one up. You know, and they're not going to be as like that whole, like you're going to be able to, we're hopefully be able to pick them up everywhere. And I'm looking forward to that. I really am, because I mean, for me, I'm not in this market because it's like, oh, it's worth a ton of money. I can't wait to go and rake somebody over the coals for that kind of prices for it, and get, and take one over on them. I'm just not like that. I just, no, even everything I've sold, I've either sold it for less than I bought it for, or if I broke even and got what I got out of it, that's great. Hey, I had my fun with it and I got my money back out of it. Awesome. Especially to my friends. Like my back home, I sold a lot of my stuff before I moved out here to my friend Cody. Did I rip Cody off and sell it to him for quadruple the prices? No, that's my friend. I'm not going to do that to him. So I just don't do that to people. I couldn't sleep at night. I don't know. That's just me. I always believed in treating people good and taking care of people, because you know what comes around goes around. Yes, that's right. I'm a believer in that. You know, what comes around goes around. You treat people the way you want to be treated in life, and you'll go a lot further. Trust me. But okay, get off a soapbox, right? All right, but no, those 1911s, I think it's going to be fantastic when they start really flooding it out and they start becoming everywhere. And that's what's going to happen. So take it easy, just relax, let those things really come onto the market, and I think we're going to be able to pick up a bunch of them for a little, not so much about a hefty price. This is so great. I'm so happy with this news, because I'm so curious to see what's going to happen with it. I'm really, really just excited about it all, just to see when they start hitting the market and they just start going out like crazy, and and it's like, yeah, I'm just like, man, that's going to be awesome, because then that way, all those ones that are, the guy sitting there, and the guy sitting there with his bunch of his stuff, and he's selling it. He's got like a couple of them, and he wants like $2,400 for it or $3,000 for it, and he's just like, yeah, it's all going to change. It's all going to change right now, because everybody's going to get a chance to own one for a fraction of what you think you're going to try to get out of somebody. And I can't wait till all that changes and that does it, because then it opens up the market for all of us to buy one at a decent, reasonable price eventually. So just let it, like I said, let it take its mark there, and I think we'll be in good shape. So speaking of all that, I know you've been wondering what this is right here. This is, oh man, it's my beautiful Model 29 Smith & Wesson. And the reason I brought this out is because, well, one, it's so cool because it's an iconic firearm. It really is. It's an iconic firearm. This is one of the ones that is just, it's iconic because of the movie Dirty Harry. And just like Walther PPK is iconic to James Bond, and there's so many cool guns. And, of course, a yellow aged ivory-handled single-action army is significant to the old Duke himself, because that's what he carried. So, yeah. The reason I brought this out, because I'm actually looking at some grips. These are original grips on there. But I've been looking at like the alt mount grips. I think that's the way you say it. And some other ones I've been looking at that are not as expensive. Again, these grips on this gun, these grips right here, I've been commanding some serious money, which is something stupid, I think. I mean, a couple $100 I've seen in some cases on these. And I remember when I was picking them up, I was buying them for like, $40, $30, something like that. And then when they started jumping up there to $100, I said, whoa, maybe I'm going to step back and out of this market for a little bit. So, but there's some other ones I'm going to look into getting. And if I do get them, I'm going to put them on there, obviously make some videos on that and check it out and see how that shakes out. And I'm kind of curious to see these other ones. Alt Mount has a copy of the old Coke bottle grips that, if you don't know what that means, it means on the sides it palm swelled out slightly, kind of resembling the old Coke bottles. So I'm really curious. I might just get one of those. They're like $90 or something like that. I know they're a little pricey, but we'll see. Something that cool, that vintage, it's a replica of it. It might be neat. Might be time to take these off, because this is one I shoot. This is a shooter. It's a -3. This is one of the very first ones I got. It's got a 6-inch barrel, not a 6.5, and I don't know what the heck, what was going on with all these time frames and all the adjustments and changes that they made to these things. I got a -2 that's a 6.5, a true Dirty Harry size and everything. But this is my baby, because this is the very first one I ever owned. It's my favorite one. It's a 6-inch barrel. It's just a classic. I take it to the range. Mostly I shoot specials out of it. I actually redid the lock work on it myself, so it locks up fairly tight. And just kind of did a little restoration on it. It does have a little bit of, not too much play actually. It's pretty nice and sound. I don't know. I thought about it once or twice about that, but it's a nice gun. I love it. It keeps it, and you know what? It was. It's old. It's vintage. It's actually made in the year I was born, so even cooler, right? So that's why I hang on to it. So anyhow, well, I'm gonna get out of here, you guys, and enjoy your Saturday. It's 23 minutes into this thing. We're going in. But yeah, on that note, CMP 1911s. That's my thoughts on it. That's my output on it, was to hold off on everything because let it saturate, let it flood. Right now, it's just a hailstone. Let it grow into a giant snowball, and we're going to see a lot more of those things coming out. So that's my message to you. If you want to get one, let it soak in first, and let's see where the market takes it, because it's going to change dramatically. That's my thoughts on that. So like, share, and subscribe. As I said, I'm out of here. All right. So there we have it. The radio show is done and complete for this week. All right. Take the. I do everything on this phone now. That's how I do it. So we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, I wanted to really talk about that. You know, the CMP 1911s, because I always felt like people just gouge for those things. The money that they want, and they like hold on to them like that's their retirement. And it's like, you know, they held on to these things, and it's happened to me where I felt like, you know, somebody was trying to sell it to me for, like, you know, it's like, man, what are you trying to do? Put a down payment on a house or something? You know, they sit there and they think this thing is worth $1 million. And I don't like that kind of stuff. It always sours me, you know, when that was happening. I remember I was in the heart of the gun business when all that was going down with, when people were buying and selling AR-15s for, like, you know, ridiculous prices because there was a fear of them being taken away or banned or whatnot. I just always thought, man, really? Like, you know, gouging people is just not something I've liked. So that's why I'm just like, oh, another thing, you know, it's like, I'm so happy. I'm just like, man, I can't wait till these things hit the market, because we're gonna see some dramatic changes, and it's gonna be awesome. So anyway, yeah, there you go. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening, and always tuned in, and we'll see where it takes us next time.